today here on the History Channel, our topic of the day is the Civil War, and lately people have been asking questions about it, so today we're going to answer your questions on history. Okay, so first off, Pussycat Dolls 5273 asks a question on women's Civil War. She asks, what were women's roles in the Civil War? Well, to answer that question, women in the Civil War were nurses, sometimes listed as soldiers, and also ran businesses while their men were at war. And during that time, women also tried to fight for their rights. It's for suffrage and just basic rights that they didn't have at that time. And so it was a very popular thing, especially since many women were in the war and were recognized for it. Okay, so next question.
What was the Union's part in the Civil War?
Well, the Union's part in the Civil War was basically the winning side. So the Union had a larger army due to its large population, and basically they were fighting over slavery and political issues and stuff like that during the Civil War. The Union had a bigger army, except they didn't have that many great generals until later on in the war, which led to a lot of casualties. And yeah, the Union was basically just the United States, excluding the border states and the Confederacy.
Our next question is from Daquan123. His question is about the Battle of Gettysburg. The Battle of Gettysburg was from July 1st to July 3rd between the North and the South. The South leader, Robert E. Lee, went to go ambush the North, but they attacked them back. After the battle, the North had great confidence since they won the battle, and the South had no confidence after. Thank you. Our next question is from MP Squared on the Emancipation Proclamation. This was a decision that Abraham Lincoln made during the Civil War. He said that declaring that as of January 1st, 1863, all slaves in the rebellious states shall be thenceforward and forever free. This means that slaves would be free in the rebellious states. This freed 3.104 million slaves and encouraged them to join the Union. The Emancipation Proclamation led to the 13th Amendment, which ended slavery.
Okay, next up we have a question from Ponies and Rainbows 429, and their question was, who was Abraham Lincoln? He was our 16th president of the United States, and he was born February 12th, 1809 in the state of Kentucky, and he was one of our presidents who freed all the slaves and led us through the war of the Civil War in our country. And he won the presidential election in 1860, and as a Republican, he was like the first Republican president of the United States, and so he died from assassination, died an early death, and he didn't finish his time as president. I think he was a great man for leading us through a horrible time through the Civil War, and I think he was also a great man because he personally wrote letters to the mothers of the soldiers that died, the soldiers that died in the Civil War. Also, he gave the country the Emancipation Proclamation and fixed the 13th Amendment to give all slaves citizenship. This next question is from CatLover20, and they asked the question, who was Robert E. Lee? You've probably heard of him in your U.S. history class. He was a general on the Confederate side, and he was one of the greatest main generals and was a main factor to why the South could have won. He had trained at age 18 into the West Point Military Academy, and he was like a great leader there, and he got 100% on his exam to leave the school, and he also had perfect scores on the test of infantry, artillery, and cavalry.